What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I'm Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. 666 Demon Child, or Demon Child 666. On the side of the film it says something, and on the front of the film it says something else. Whatever it is, it came out in 2005, and it is directed by Adam Howe, I think his name is. This is a low-budget and independent project, and I have a lot to say about this one. Man, okay, it started like it was gonna bore the shit out of me, okay? Because there's this literally 5-minute opening of this guy just walking in the desert, and he's holding something, and we're assuming it's like some kind of baby or something, but we don't even know what it is. He just puts it somewhere after he starts walking for like, the intro of the film is like 8 minutes. It's ridiculous. And then he finds these giant eggs in this tomb kind of thing, and he's like, and so it's begun. And then we start our film, and we have this crew. It's like they're like archaeologists kind of thing. So they're out in this RV in the desert with a professor, and they're basically analyzing strange things that they find, strange findings, strange occurrences, weapons, swords, stuff like that are like 500,000 years old kind of thing. And the professor is really, really intelligent in dissecting these things. Now, because of the budget, these things look kind of ridiculous when it comes to the fossils and stuff like that. But these guys are out in the forest. They end up hitting somebody, the guy from the beginning of the film. And he's a very boring character. So every time he came back, I was just dreading his story because I really didn't care about him. But we're also introduced to this Native American character that owns some kind of shop as well. And this crew discovers these eggs, and they're looking at these eggs. And I'm telling you, these things just look like really giant footballs that are quite veiny kind of thing. They look like toys that you would get at like Toys R Us ordeal-y kind of thing. So I was starting to watch this film, and I was finding it really hokey, but then it got very comedic in like a spoof kind of way. And when it comes to the horror scenes, I mean, once the egg hatches, because they have an egg in their RV, once that thing hatches, this demon baby just starts creating havoc. And this demon baby, like, every time it'll attack somebody, it just bites their neck, and the blood work is kind of good. I actually enjoyed that stuff. And there's one scene involving a woman in the shower, and I'm telling you, her death when it came to that baby just biting her everywhere was the funniest thing. Because the baby would take like, she has it on her, and just the way they shot the scene is so ridiculous because she's trying to fight it off, and it's biting her neck, and then it'll get back on her and it'll start biting her stomach. And this woman is completely naked, by the way, when all this is happening. So that was probably my favorite scene in the film. Other than that, this film is way too long at an hour and a half. It needs to be trimmed down by like 15 minutes at least. The acting is not good. The sound design is not good because sometimes you can barely hear the actors at all. But with this baby, they have it cry. And they have it cry all the time. So every time it attacks, every time it's on screen, it's crying and crying. And by the time the third act came, I was sick of this noise. This film just is noisy and like aggressive and irritating. And it's just way too much that it took me right out of the experience. And it's really unfortunate because there is a couple scenes here and there in this film that I really did find hysterical, like kind of unintentionally funny, and I thought it was gonna pick up and continue in that way. But maybe if this film was shorter, I would be able to tolerate it a little bit more, because the effects on the baby itself is the best thing. They actually took the time and effort to make this practical thing come alive, and sometimes this film is entertaining, but mostly it is irritating just because of those baby screeches that just are non-stop. And then it gets to a point where everybody kind of gets picked off one by one, and a couple of them will try to fight off this baby, and that just goes on forever, and it's irritating. And then once the baby is done for, there's still another 15 damn minutes where the final girl, the final lady that survives, I won't call her a final girl because this is not a slasher necessarily, but she goes back to the Native American guy at the store and finds out he's involved somehow, and then she goes all like Tomb Raider Lara Croft style on him, like threatening him, forcing him to take her to the tombs where these eggs were originally found. And it just turns into this lore where basically the apocalypse has come because this egg has hatched and this demon baby is out to, end the world kind of thing. And man, it's a tedious film. I really, really struggled with this one a lot. Not for me anyway. I mean, like I said, it has its hokey moments, and I love my B movie cinema. But I don't want to like sound like I'm just absolutely shitting on this film or anything. It just didn't work for me, and I found it too long mostly. That's my biggest complaint about it, and it became irritating after a while. And I just found that screeching, ear piercing baby cries the worst, which sucks too because the monster itself looked great. And I wouldn't even mind the acting or anything like that being not that great, but when it comes to the sound design and the production being so low as well, there's a lot of things that just can take you out of a film. And for me, like I said, this is one of them. Unfortunately, this one didn't work for me like others did in 31 Days of Horror, but it's probably streaming somewhere. So if you want to check it out still, even just for the scenes I mentioned, there's you have to see them to believe them. I mean, this shower scene in particular, like I said, when this baby is attacking this woman in so many different places. I mean, if it was a sex scene, it would be like the woman doing it in a bunch of positions, but it's a baby killing her in a bunch of positions instead. It's really, really funny. But yeah, that's 666 Demon Child. That's what I'm going to call it. And yeah, unfortunately, I'll have to pass on this one. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I will be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.